Whether you're brand new to the iPad or experienced with it but looking to take your skills up to the next level, there are several power tips that can completely transform how you use the iPad. Would you like to know what they are? Stick around and find out. I'm Dylan Stewart, the MacWhisperer, and in today's video, we're going to talk all about the iPad. I'm going to share 6 power user tips that can transform your workflow on the iPad forever. But don't leave before hearing my MacWhisperer Power Tip, where I take everything that we learned in this lesson up to another level. Your iPad will thank you for it. Let's hop on over to the iPad and get started. Tip number 1 is about customizing your lock screen. The lock screen is the screen that you see as soon as you take your iPad out of your bag and open it up. Before you've logged in, you're greeted with a picture and a clock, and that's usually it for most people. But your lock screen can be so much more functional than that. In order to take advantage of this tip, be on the lock screen of your iPad, and once you're there, you're going to press and hold on the screen until you enter this mode, which is the customization mode. From the customization mode, you can choose any previously created iPad lock screens, or you can create a brand new one. Let's create one. I'm going to click the plus button right here. And from here, you can access many pre-configured templates to set up an iPad lock screen quickly. Or you can use some of the tools across the top to make it a little more personalized. I'm going to click the Photos option here. It opens up your photo library, allowing you access to any picture that you have in your library to use for your screen. And I'm going to choose this beautiful picture of my wife and I. Once you've got the photo properly positioned, you may want to change the style or color of the clock so that you can see it properly. I'm going to click on the clock here, and we're going to change it to a nice light blue. You can adjust the tone of the color with this slider here, making it darker or brighter. That looks perfect. Now, we're going to come over to the left side and we're going to start adding some widgets. The widgets on the lock screen are super functional because they can give you immediate access to specific tools and information before you've even opened up your iPad. This makes it super helpful. If you're using your iPad in the landscape mode like this, the widgets will show up on the left side. If you're using it in the portrait mode, the widgets will show up in the middle, which sometimes gets in the way of the photos. So I like to use it in the landscape mode more often. Let's click the Add Widgets button right here. And now we're greeted by the widget selection screen. From here, we can add any widgets from Apple or from any third-party apps that are installed on your iPad. This allows you to do some really fun things like grabbing your calendar and making sure that the next appointments you've got are always front and center as soon as you log in. Or you can head over to the battery section and make sure you've got a good idea of the battery power for all the devices you're using. Whatever you put onto the widget screen will enable you to instantly access that information right from your lock screen, making it easy to contact specific people or get right into a note or anything else that you need. And now I'm going to click the Add button in the upper right-hand corner. When you do that, you're going to get the option to either use the same image on your home screen or to choose a different image. For me, I like my home screen to be a little bit less busy. So let's click where it says Customize Home Screen here, and let's just set it to a nice, easy gradient. Click on the gradient button, and then the plus button inside the gradient to choose my gradient shade. I'm going to use this nice blue right there, and then I'll click Done. Now we've got a brand new lock screen complete with widgets that can help us know what our upcoming events are or how the battery life is on some of our devices. Tapping on your lock screen will immediately enable it. And you can always change your lock screen by simply pressing and holding on it and swiping over to any other lock screen you've got. You can even connect your lock screen to a specific focus mode so that as soon as you swipe over to that lock screen, it automatically puts you in Do Not Disturb mode or work mode or any of the focus modes that you've previously set up. We're going to stay on our brand new lock screen here and move on to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is all about the dock. The dock is this bar that floats at the bottom of your screen. You've got a dock on your iPhone and you've got a dock on your computer, but the dock on the iPad is critical. Unlike the phone, where you can only have 4 apps, and unlike the computer, which can get out of control really easily, you want to make sure you've added all of the applications that you use regularly down onto your dock. And when we start talking about the multitasking tip, you're going to understand why. So take a moment and put your iPad into edit mode by pressing and holding anywhere on the screen of your iPad. You can tell you're in edit mode when everything starts to wiggle. You can remove or delete apps from here, but it's more valuable to take the apps that you want and simply drag them down onto the dock so that you've got easy access to the things that you do on a regular basis. Now, the dock is not just some minimally functional place to hide a couple of apps like it is on the iPhone. It's extremely valuable, and the reason is because when you're inside of an app, you can still access your dock. So if I open up Photos, I don't see the dock, but a simple swipe from the bottom of my screen, not a full swipe, just like a quarter swipe like this, will bring up the dock and allow me to quickly jump from this app over to Calendars, or over to Messages, or over to any app that I need to get quick access to. By having your dock configured with the things you need the most, you can move between your apps without ever needing to come back to the home screen and swipe around through all of the separate pages that you've got filled with apps and folders and all sorts of widgets and things that just get in the way when you're trying to get work done. On the right side of the dock, you'll notice some of the apps you've recently used that don't live on the dock. So when I click on a new app like this Passwords app over on the left side, you'll notice that it immediately opens up the app, but it also adds it over to the right side of the dock. You can have up to 3 recent apps open on the right side of the dock, making it easy to go to an app even if it doesn't live there. And most importantly, on the far right side of the dock, we've got the app library. What's the app library, Dylan? Well, let me explain. In many cases, people have cluttered their iPads and their phones with so many apps that they're requiring all these folders to have the apps in. The folders make it really complicated to actually see what's inside of one of those clumps. You've got to click on it. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. Maybe it's over here. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. Back in the day, this was the only way we could use apps on our devices. Any app we installed and downloaded had to be on your home screen. But that's not the case anymore. All of the apps that you've got installed in your iPad live in the app library, which you can access from the right side of the dock here. When you come into the app library, everything's filed, sorted, and organized. You'll notice that for each of these categories, you'll see 3 large apps and then usually 4 smaller apps. If you click on the large apps, like Photos here, it'll open that app right up. But if you click on the small apps, like what we see on the right corner of the Photos and Videos collection here, it will open up all of the apps that are inside of that section, allowing you to grab any app you need, not just the ones that you use the most. By using the app library, you can easily start to clean up your home screen and make everything just look so much better. And there's one more fantastic tip that you can use for the dock. Because the dock is always available, you can take any folder and you can add it to the dock. For example, one of the things almost everybody does on their iPad is watch videos. If you organize and collect all of your video apps into one folder, you can take that folder and simply drag it right into position on the dock, making sure you can always get to those video apps without flicking through screens to find them. If you collect some of your most important apps into folders and just drag them down to the dock, it will simplify everything. As you start to do that, I've got a little bonus tip for you. Come into the settings section right here, and if you scroll down, you'll find the home screen and app library section. By clicking there, if you change it to use large app icons, it'll make it even easier to get access to those apps without squinting and trying to figure out what they are. Let's turn that on. And now that we've got that on, everything's just a little bigger and a little easier to see. But that doesn't solve the problem with the folders. The folders are now completely in the way and kind of all over the place. If you have to scroll through multiple pages to find what you're looking for on your iPad, you're wasting time. These folders are no longer as effective as they used to be, which is where we step into tip number 3, separating your apps onto separate pages. In order to do this easily, I use a tool that can create widgets for you. we're going to swipe over to the right side here, and you're going to notice that all of my game apps are nicely organized right here with a nice large widget reminding me that this is my play page. And if I swipe over again, here's my crafts page with all of the image creation and art tools that I use regularly. To move around and edit your pages, all you need to do is go into the edit mode by pressing and holding right down on your screen. Then if you tap on the little bar above the dock here, you'll open into the page view, which will show all of your separate pages and give you the ability to easily press and hold on any one of these pages to move the order around to make sure the things you need to get to are front and center. Let's move our work page right here. In addition to that, from this page view section, you can uncheck any pages that you don't commonly need. Simply clicking the checkbox will hide that page until you need it in the future. This is helpful for things like the money and finances, which I only need a couple of times a month when I'm paying bills. Simply clicking that checkbox will make it invisible. In addition to that, if you've got a page of apps that you're not using regularly and you'd like to remove all of those apps and leave them in the app library, you don't have to do it one by one. Once you've hidden any one of these pages, if you click the little minus button in the upper left-hand corner, it will remove the page completely and all of the apps will be left in your app library, making it super easy for you to get to them quickly. Now, with just a little bit of effort, you can clear up this chaos and make sure that the apps you need are front and center. In most cases, as you look at these separate folders, you're going to find apps that you don't remember downloading and you haven't used in forever. You don't need to keep them all. And as you start organizing your apps, you don't have to do it one at a time either. If you press and hold on any app and move it like this, you'll be holding it with your finger. Keep your finger down on the screen and use your other hand to tap on any other apps in order to move all of them to their own page together. This allows you to quickly reorganize your iPad. And trust me, if you invest a little bit of time organizing your iPad screens, it'll pay you back in dividends every time you use anything on your iPad. And you can use that same trick to empty out a folder of apps. Simply tap on the folder, and then grab any one of the apps with one hand, keeping your hand on the screen, and with your other hand, tap each of the other apps and just move them outside of the folder. The folder will be removed and the apps will live on your home screen instead. Take a little bit of time to organize these separate pieces and it's going to change everything. And that brings us to tip number 4, iPad gestures. The iPad has a ton of fantastic gestures that most people never use and don't know anything about. To get into this conversation, let's start by jumping into the Notes app here. From here, we've got some text right in front of us. Now let's say that I came in and I accidentally deleted a chunk of text. It's terrible, right? How do I undo it? Well, like on the iPhone, if you shake your iPad, you can undo it, but there's another easier way to do it. Take 3 fingers and double tap them on the screen and it will immediately undo your last action. Simple and easy. And there's another undo gesture that you can also use. If you take 3 fingers and swipe them backwards like this, it will automatically undo, and 3 fingers going to the right like this will redo. So whether you're using a double tap with 3 fingers to undo an action, or swiping to the left with 3 fingers, or to the right with 3 fingers to redo, just by using your fingers, you can easily undo several actions without making yourself crazy. One of the other critical gestures on the iPad is copy and paste. It works a lot like on the iPhone. A triple tap on any text will select the entire chunk of text and give you this toolbar across the top that can allow you to cut, copy, paste, add links, attach files, and all sorts of other things. It's easy to do. And if you just want to do it with one word, a simple double tap on any word will immediately select that word. You can also use the spacebar of your keyboard to move your cursor around, making it easy to position your cursor anywhere you need so you can quickly and easily correct a word or add a word. And the next gesture can be used in 2 different ways. It's called app swapping, and it's a really functional way to go from the app that you're in into one of the other apps you've recently used. To do this, you're going to take 4 fingers and you're going to swipe to the right on your screen. When you do this, you'll see it'll move from one app to the other. Once you've gone to the right, You can also go to the left to get back to the apps you were just in, allowing you to move quickly between windows and between apps without having to go to the dock and without having to go to your home screen. The second way to do this is by using the bar that you see at the bottom of your iPad. I call this the home bar, and simply swiping on that bar will do the exact same thing. So you can do it with 4 fingers or you can do it with 1 finger, but either way it makes it easy for you to move between one app and the next app. The next gesture can get you into the multitasking screen. The multitasking screen is this screen that we see here with all of the open apps. Many people use this screen on their iPhone and their iPad simply to quit things, which isn't really what it was designed to do. The truth about the multitasking screen is that it's there so that you can quickly go from one app directly into another app, again without having to go to your home page or without even having to open up your dock. To get to the multitasking screen, grab the bar from the bottom of your page and hold it in the middle like this. You'll see all of the other apps join it and allow you to move through them. Now, if you're having a specific problem with an app, this is where you go to force quit it. But don't habitually force quit all of these apps, because then you eliminate the ability to quickly swap between the pages that you're using, because all of the separate apps are constantly getting closed. It's a much better habit to leave the apps you're working with open and only quit things on occasion or when something's not working properly. And the last 2 gestures that we're going to talk about today are probably the 2 most important ones. The first one is done from the lower left-hand corner. To do this, we're going to open up my calendar here. Now, if I'd like to take a screenshot, I can use the buttons on the iPad. Pressing the volume up button and the power button will take a screenshot. But you don't need to do that on the iPad. Dragging your finger diagonally from the lower left corner towards the center will immediately take a screenshot of whatever you see on your screen. And you can use this screenshot page to crop or adjust, or even to annotate notes directly onto the screenshot. And then you can either share it by clicking the share button in the upper right hand corner, click the done button in the upper left corner and copy it or save it, or you can even pull text directly off the screenshot by clicking the scan text button right here, which can allow you to highlight anything you see, copy and paste it anywhere. But there's another screenshot tool we need to talk about, and for that, we're going to hop into Safari. Let's do a quarter swipe, click on Safari from right here, and in a lot of cases, when you're on Safari, there's a web page that you want to capture. Sure, I can take a screenshot of that web page, but it doesn't show me everything. It just shows me what was on the screen. And in most cases, websites are long. But with the iPad, the screenshot tool has a capability to grab the entire page of a Safari website. If you look up at the top where it says screen, to the right of that it says full page. Simply clicking on that button right here will take a screenshot of the entire web page. If you look over at the right, you can see that we've now got the entire web page from top to bottom all in one single screenshot. And you can easily save this into your files, copy and paste it somewhere, and you can easily share this with someone, annotate it, or even save it directly into your files as a PDF without having to take tons of different screenshots and patch them together yourself. Which brings us to the last gesture tip. And for this one, you drag diagonally from the lower right corner. This accesses what's called the Quick Note. And the Quick Note is a great way to access the Notes app from within any app you're using. As soon as you drag in from that bottom right corner, it's going to bring the page up and you can type anything you want onto it. You can also click this Add Link button, which will save whatever you were looking at when you opened up Quick Note directly into the note. If we click the Add Link button here, it's going to add this website directly onto this note. Now I click the Done button here and Quick Look goes away. But what's awesome is if I leave Safari and go into something else like Calendar here, and drag from the bottom right corner again, that same Quick Look shows up, but this time the link will add something about my calendar. This is a great way to easily and simply grab all sorts of information from all sorts of different apps directly into a Quick Note, where you can jot down any thoughts or ideas from all the separate things that you're doing. Once you're done, click the Done button and go into the Notes app. From the Notes app, if you click on your sidebar in the upper left-hand corner here, you will see a Quick Notes section right in the Folders list. From here, if you're complete with that quick note, press and hold it and drag it into any of your folders so that it's accessible directly in your notes program. Now, when you come back and grab a new quick note, it's empty and ready for you to start over adding new links or new information to it. It's a really powerful tool and it's accessed just by dragging from the bottom right corner. And those are the gestures. And now let's step into tip number 5, multitasking on the iPad. Multitasking is when you use more than one app at the same time. It's easy to do it on a computer because we've got these big screens and we can move things anywhere we want. But on the iPad, most apps tend to open full screen like this. But it doesn't have to be that way. There are several powerful tools that you can use to do multitasking right from your iPad. And the first one is called Slide Over. To do this, from the app you're in, let's access our dock with a small swipe from the bottom. And let's grab the app that we want to access, in this case, music. Press and hold on it and drag it right onto the screen. When you release it, it will become a slide over app, which means that it's on top of the app you're working on, but you can easily grab it from the top and move it from the left side to the right side, or you can even hide it by simply pulling up on the little bar at the bottom like this. That hides it over to the right edge of the screen. But if you want to access it, all you have to do is swipe from the right side and it comes right back. This means that you can have something like your music app available while you're working without it completely taking over the screen. Again, just a small swipe up on this bar down here and it hides over to the side. A swipe from the right or left edge will bring it back. I want you to also notice the 3 dots that we see at the top of this page. Clicking on those 3 dots gives us several options. In this case, we're going to close this while we talk about the next kind of multitasking, which is known as split view. Split view is the ability to have 2 separate apps sharing space on the iPad screen. For this, we're going to go into the Notes app. I'm going to swipe up to get my dock, press and hold on the Notes app and bring it up. But instead of dropping it in the middle, if I move it over to the right side or over to the left side, it'll make space. Let's put it on the right side right here. All of a sudden, we've got both apps front and center sharing screen space. There's a little bar in the middle, and you can use that bar to adjust how big the left app is versus the right app. In some cases, I need more spaces for notes. In other cases, I might need more space for reminders. Simply sliding that bar either to the left or the right will resize the other app. You can have it 25% on the left and 75% on the right, 50-50, or 75% on the left and 25% on the right. It's completely up to you. Using split view like this can allow you to have access to both apps simultaneously. In order to change out what's on one side or the other, just bring up your dock, press and hold on the app you want, and drag it onto either the left or the right side and it will replace that app. In this case, we're going into Photos. One of the other great tools on the iPad, especially in the multitasking mode, is the ability for you to drag and drop from one app directly onto another. And when you're using split view, this is so easy to do. Simply pressing and holding on anything will copy it and drop it directly onto that note, or into that email, or into that text message, making it that much simpler to multitask. And the nice thing about all of these multitasking tools is they work together, so you can also have a slide over while you're in split view. Simply pull up your dock again. Let's grab music. We'll drag it up. Be careful not to put it on the left or the right because then it'll replace those split views. But if you drop it in the middle, it'll become a slide over, allowing you to pick your next song and then move it off the screen and bring it back whenever you need to. These are some of the best multitasking tools that most iPads have, and it makes it really easy to do multiple things simultaneously. But Apple has one-upped the multitasking game with a tool that they call Stage Manager. And you can access Stage Manager by pulling down from the upper right corner and accessing your control panel. It looks like this right over here. And when you engage Stage Manager, it takes everything we talked about up to another level. Because now, instead of just having 2 apps, you can have up to 4 apps on a screen, and you can completely reorganize, reposition, and resize any of those apps. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to start by going into the Messages app. Let's click on it right here. You'll notice that when it opens up, it didn't take up the full screen, and there are these weird icons on the left side with music and photos and notes and other things. What's that? Well, the first thing we want to learn is how to resize a window. You can move the window by grabbing it from the top toolbar onto any position on your screen. And then you can use the bottom corners in order to stretch it out or shrink it down. By doing this, you can take multiple apps and add them together. You'll use the same tool you did on the other multitasking to add apps. Simply press and hold, and then drag it right over. As you do, they'll stack on top of each other, and you can position them wherever you want to. Let's grab our calendar, dragging it right over and dropping it right in here. Notice the little bar in the bottom here that can allow us to resize to our heart's content. In many cases, you can even take that bar and pull it all the way over, making that app go into full screen mode so that you can take advantage of your large iPad screen in that specific app. And if you change your mind, just pull that corner in and you can rejoin Stage Manager. You can add up to 4 apps at a time in any one of the Stage Manager windows. And when you switch from one Stage Manager window to another, it saves that organization. So if I click on the left side on Reminders over here, Reminders opens up and Safari takes its place. But if I click up at the top where I've got Music, Calendars, and Messages all open, all of those apps will open right back again. You can access the apps on the side with a small swipe from the left edge, like this. And you can grab any apps that you see on that left side, press and hold, and drag them right into your current window, just like this. It's easy for me to now move from this stack of apps and click on my Photos and Notes stack over here and start working on these 2 apps simultaneously. And don't forget, you can easily drag and drop from one app onto another. Let me show you what I mean. Let's press and hold on Safari and bring it right up here. In this case, I've got a little information on this page that I'd like to add to this note that I have over here. Let's resize this note a little bit so that they're not fighting for space. I'm going to tap on the website here and select the text. But I'm not going to copy or paste it. I'm just going to press and hold on it and drag it right over. That's one of the easiest ways to copy and paste, and it works really well when you're multitasking, whether it's in split view, in slide over, or in Stage Manager. Some functions don't work when you're in Stage Manager. For example, I can no longer do our screenshot gesture from the bottom left corner. It just takes me out of the app. So if you're using the corners and you need them, you'll want to turn off the Stage Manager view. And if you're having a hard time really organizing your windows, I recommend leaving Stage Manager off and working with the split view and the slide over until you've got a better handle of how to multitask properly on the iPad. Whichever way you do your multitasking, this is going to completely change and up-level your productivity on your iPad. And tip number 6 is a quickie, but it's super important. Start using the Files app. If you've never used the Files app on your phone, you don't know what you're missing. Essentially, the Files app is made by Apple, and it's made to give your iPhone and your iPad a file structure so that you can save files and access files from your desktop or documents folder on your computer. You can even connect many popular cloud storage apps like Dropbox, Google Drive, and OneDrive right into it. Let's click on it and take a quick look around. Pressing on the Files app opens it up into this screen. On the left side, you're going to see Recent Files. Clicking on that will show you some of the most recent files that you've added or changed on your iPad, on your iPhone, or on your computer. You can also see any files that have been shared with you. But the more important section is the Location section down here. By clicking on iCloud Drive, you can immediately access the desktop of your computer, or the Documents folder, or the Downloads. And if you've ever wondered where something goes on the iPad when you download it from Safari, well, it goes in the Downloads section right here, giving you easy access to it once it's been downloaded and giving you the capability to take any file and easily move it into a different location where it can sync with your computer. You can even add Dropbox and Google Drive onto the Files app. To do that, download those apps and log into them. And once you've done that, click the three dots right here and choose Edit Sidebar. This will show you all of the available locations and you can turn on or off anything that you want, making it easy right from the Files app for you to get into all of your Dropbox files or any of your Google Drive files. This simplifies filing forever. No more emailing or texting yourself that document or that folder so you have it on your iPad and your phone. You've already got it. You just have to go in through Files in order to access it. And the last thing that I want to talk about with regard to files is this little section here called Favorites. When you're working with files, you're generally going to have certain locations, certain folders, certain places that you need regular access to. It's easy to set up a favorite by coming into any of the locations here. And if you need access to this particular folder, press and hold on it. And from the drop-down list, find where it says Favorite. Clicking that will save it into the Favorites section, meaning the next time you need to go into that folder from your iPad, it's just a click away, making it easy to have access to everything and save everything. And, there's one more bonus tip about files specifically, and it's a really powerful one. You can click on the three dots right here to immediately scan a document using your iPad's camera. This means no more third-party apps to scan documents and no more questions about how you get that document from the piece of paper in front of you onto your iPad and computer. Scanning documents from files is a great tool and will make everything you do that much easier. In just a moment, I'm going to share my MacWhisperer Power Tip. But before I do, if you got great value and learned something in this video, give it a thumbs up. That makes it so much easier for other people to find it. And if you've got a question, a comment, something you need more information about, drop it down in the comments section. I absolutely love to hear from you guys. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, this is your official invitation. It's time. There's tons of great value and great information that can help you use all your Apple products better. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notify bell so that you're always alerted whenever I drop new content. And with that being said, do you know what time it is? That's right, it's time for the Power Tip. The iPad is an amazing tool. It's an amazing device, but Apple is trying to convince people that it's a replacement for the computer. Now, I'm not saying that you can't use it instead of a computer, but I think it's a little more valuable than that. You see, each of Apple's devices has a specific purpose. For example, your iPhone is pocket-sized. That means you can have it with you at all times. It's got great functionality, connecting you to all the people you love, allowing you to take photographs. It's its own entity. The computer is an amazing and powerful tool, allowing you to do full multitasking, add accessories, make videos, and do amazing things with your Apple technology. The iPad is not just a big iPhone, and it's not a replacement for the laptop. It's a completely separate entity. And what makes it different is the Apple Pencil. By utilizing the pencil on your tablet, you've got a notepad wherever you go. You can write ideas and thoughts down on the fly easily and simply. You can create amazing works of art using this pencil to immediately bring your imagination to life. You can use the pencil if you've got a hard time with your finger in order to move from one screen to the other or to click on any apps or buttons. There are 3 different versions of the Apple Pencil. The Apple Pencil 1 works on the older iPads. The Apple Pencil 2 works on the mid-range iPads, but if you've got the new M4 iPad Pro, you'll need this one, the Apple Pencil Pro. And the Apple Pencil Pro has additional functionality like the ability to squeeze the pencil in order to access your color palette or your toolbox. These are great tools that make it really easy to use. With the Apple Pencil 2 and the Apple Pencil Pro, it charges magnetically by sticking to the top of your iPad. The Apple Pencil 1 needs to be plugged into your iPad directly. Before you purchase a pencil, check with Apple to make sure you're getting the right one for your iPad. So let's talk about what you can actually do with the pencil. And we're going to start on our lock screen. Right from the lock screen, simply by tapping the pencil right on the page, it will open you up directly into a note, allowing you to quickly come in and jot down any ideas that you've got simply and easily. You can use the markup tools down at the bottom using tools like your pen, your highlighter, or even a ruler that can allow you to create perfectly straight lines simply by running your pen right along the edge of it, just like that. The ruler, the pen, and the highlighter are great tools, but they're nothing compared to this little pen on the bottom left side. This little pen here is called the scribble tool. And with the scribble tool, you can write anything, not just in notes, but in literally any app on the iPad and have it translate your handwriting directly into text. Let's give it a try. Just like that, I can write and have it immediately put the words directly down on the page. But it doesn't stop there. In addition to being able to use it just like your finger and being able to use it on notes and other apps to just write directly with your pen, you can also use it in association with a huge selection of third-party apps. Things like Procreate, which can allow you to make amazing artwork right off your iPad, even if you're not a great artist, which clearly I'm not, or other apps like Photoshop that can help you to edit your photos, or many, many others. The pencil is a critical tool for the iPad because it differentiates it from the computer and from the iPhone. But my personal favorite use for the pencil on the iPad is to use it to journal. By using a journaling app like this one down here called Notability, you can replace all of those yellow notepads and keep all of your notes with you at any given time and have a pencil that allows you to keep track of everything, store it, organize it, sort it, and find it easily. It's an easy and simple way to elevate the iPad beyond a computer replacement or a big iPhone. So that's what I've got for today's video, all about the 6 power user tips that can transform your use of the iPad forever. I hope you learned something new and got great value out of it, and I can't wait to see what you create on your iPad with these new tips. I'm Dylan Stewart, the Mac Whisperer, and it's my passion and profession to help you get more done with your Apple products than you ever thought possible. And I will see you next time.